what do you think it would take from a player's side? Some people have mentioned maybe having a rookie cap, so to speak, for slotted payment for each player, depending on where they are drafted. So a first-round pick who's drafted 12th, you already know before you pick him what he's going to be paid and how the contract is going to work out, similar to what the NBA does. Do you think those type things may be discussed coming up in the future?
Well, I know they have. I know the NFL proposed a rookie salary cap, and then we counter-proposed what they would be able to do with the savings, which is somewhere around $200 million that they would save with the plan that they put forth to the players. They rejected our counter-proposal, and I think it's been dead ever since then. I haven't heard anything else since then, but that's what was reported. But one thing I always want fans to understand and remember, the NFL Players Association and the players don't pay the rookies a thing. It's the owners that decide how much the rookies get paid. So that's another one of those smoke screens as to, I can't believe the NFL Players Association isn't trying to get a rookie salary cap and da-da-da-da. Bottom line is that the owners are going to pay what the owners pay. And they are bidding each other up. And so when you talk about, is the NFL a single entity or are they competitors? Well, look at the draft and see how every year they're negotiating these contracts and they're paying the rookies more money because they're trying to beat the other guy out. And that gives you a clear idea. It's not the players that are making these salaries go higher. It's the owners that are paying the money. So and if they want to reduce what these rookies are making, then take those savings and give it to the former players and give it to the current players, to the veterans, to the guys that have played for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years in the league. There's ways we can spread it out, but what their owners wanted to do was put a cap on the rookie salaries and slate them, and then take the money and pocket it themselves, which was taking away 20% of the revenues that the current players have now, which would affect the former players also. So that's when you're hearing that number, them saying, for us saying they want us to take an 18 to 20% pay cut, a lot of that is rooted into that proposal that they have, which isn't right. What person in their right mind would do something like that when we haven't been shown that the NFL is suffering that would warrant such a pay cut?
All right, I'm going to ask you to put on your Nostradamus hat, if you will. Tell me how you see it playing out. What's going to happen? How's it going to happen? It's like a chess match, and it could go either way. But how do you see this unfolding for fans in the future? What would you say to a fan who's worried about not having football on TV in a couple years?
I would say the fans that be well assured that the NFL Players Association and the players are working really hard to make a deal happen. And to also understand that it wasn't us that wanted to opt out of this deal. So if there's a work stoppage, it's not by us. And that's one of the biggest keys. I can't predict what's going to happen. I know for sure on our side we're working as hard as possible to get the owners to get to a point where we have some really good faith negotiations on some key issues that they have and that we have. Until they come to the table without making announcements like the owner of the Giants did last week, saying he doesn't believe that going into an uncapped year is unavoidable when you still have 5 weeks, 6 weeks left in negotiations. That doesn't seem to me to be setting the right tone for those kind of negotiations. So to the fans, we love you. Please stick by us. We didn't want this, but at the same time, we have to defend ourselves and make sure that we're able to keep all the things that we fought since the 1970s and earlier, 1950s for some guys, to attain.
Well, thank you very much, Nolan, for your time today. It's been very educational. You've definitely touched on a bunch of topics, and we greatly appreciate you stopping by at skinnypost.com and giving us some of your insight. Thanks for your time. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure, Steve. Thanks for having me.